Alright, starting the live now. Trying to get the phone to stay in place. I don't know, the last times it said it's working. And then I just asked Adam if it said I was live, and he said he joined. Oh, what's up, Leo? Alright, I think it's working this time. Alright, so today, what up, Adam? Adam's about to join me in just a second. I'm going live with Adam Chani. He's another YouTuber, college soccer player. Next time, he's going to join right now. So, Adam. Ooh, it says you're unable to join. What the? This thing's acting up. It says Adam's unable to join right now. Let's maybe send another request. But yeah, so if it works, I'm gonna be going live with him. He was playing D2 last season. This year he's transferring to an NAIA school, and we're gonna talk about the transfer process. How that's gone for him, what he's learned from it. Talking a little bit about his YouTube channel as well, and then also his time playing in Europe, what that's taught him, comparing it to playing here. So hopefully this actually work. What's up, Ryan? All right, I think it's about you gotta join. What's up, Adam?
All right, there we go. I think it's working.
Yeah, having some problems to start, but should be good now.
Yeah. Can you see me, by the way, or is it frozen?
Yeah, I see you.
Really? I can't. For some reason, it's kind of frozen on my end.
But you can hear me, hear everything fine.
Yep. Yeah, I can hear. As long as you see me fine. You think you see me fine?
I can see you.
That's really weird. I don't know if the other people can see me fine. This is really weird. Hold on, let me exit and then get back in. It's just frozen on my end. 1 second.
All right, man. All right, we're having some trouble. Was right off the rip. Straight off the rip. So he's gonna join back in a second. For those of you in chat, you can drop your questions. We'll answer them. And I have some already set up, some things I already wanted to ask, talk about. But whatever you want to know, any question, just drop it. We'll answer it. We're gonna try this again.
There we go. All right. Now I see myself. I see you. All right, we should be good now. We should be good.
All right, good, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, I've been doing fine. I actually just got off work a while ago. Sundays are usually my off days, so I was just completely off today. And yeah, been doing well. How about you? How's everything going? How's the training been going?
Pretty good. I'm just getting back into it. It's my ankle, so.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I'm going to physical.
Is it a major injury?
No, it was like a small fracture, but I didn't know it was a fracture for a while. So just
man.
But I'm pretty close to 100% again. So
yeah, that's good. I work at this French cafe about 30 minutes from my house, so I'm liking it. I do the register, so it's like it's a lot of work. It's just order after order after order, and but no, it's good. It's all good. Honestly, everything's good.
Yeah, those food service jobs kind of tough sometimes.
Sometimes they're tough, and you got to take care of all the customers, make sure they get everything. But yeah, honestly, no, it's all good. It's been all good so far. I've just been doing my own training and just getting ready. Honestly, just getting ready.
Ready for next season?
Yes, exactly.
So have they told you how it's gonna work or what time you're going back or any of that stuff yet, or?
Yeah, normally we start August 3rd, but the coach and some of the players have been thinking of going even earlier, about a week or 2 weeks earlier than that, and that would mean we would have like about a month and a half of preseason, which would be really good. It'll put us in an advantage than all the other teams in our conference. So that would be really good. I'm down for that. I'm really excited. So honestly, hopefully we do end up, doing 2 weeks before. That would literally mean a month and a half, which would be great to get to know everybody. We got a lot of new players coming in, including myself. So I think it would be a great way to get to know the players, get to know the system, get to know the coach. So I'm honestly really stoked for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, sometimes you want to enjoy your summer, but the way this summer has been anyways, it's like I just want to go back and get training and playing again. But before you get into it too much, you just want to introduce yourself real quick.
Sure.
Backstory, who you are, what you do for us.
Sure, no problem. For those of you who don't know, my name is Adam Chani. I'm 20 years old and just finished my freshman year, going to my sophomore year. Freshman year, I played for Wheeling University up in West Virginia, and my sophomore year, now I've just transferred to Southeastern University here in Lakeland, Florida. So honestly, I'm just excited. I'm just really excited. I've moved all my life. I've moved to many different countries, teams, cities, schools. So this is just, another one to the list, and I'm just honestly really excited to see what comes in August.
Yeah. So those are some of the things we're going to talk about. I want to talk about today was like your transfer process, what goes into that, and then also, like you said, playing in other countries, playing in Europe. I think I watched one of your lives a week or two ago, and it was all in Spanish, so I was trying my best to understand. But I was hearing some of the things you were talking about playing in Europe and all that. So I'm assuming that was when you were in high school when you went to play in Europe and other countries?
That was right when I graduated. So I took a gap year after I graduated high school. I graduated in 2018. And when I graduated, I told myself, look, I want to go pro and I want to go to Europe. That was just my goal. And I didn't even think about the visa process. I wasn't thinking about connections. I just literally a leap of faith. So after I graduated, my dad, he's from Morocco, and he lives there. So I told my dad, all right, I'm going to stay with you for a couple of months, get myself ready for Europe. And at that time, I didn't even know how I was going to do it. I just knew I was going to do it. So I went to Morocco, stayed there for 6 months training. I actually played for a team in 4th Division there, and just working really hard, training, learning as much as I can. And it's actually funny because I played all my high school and club career playing forward, left wing, right wing, striker. As soon as I made the move to Morocco, the coach saw something in me and he thought I'd be a better player as a right back, and I played right back for the very first time, and it just worked out. So I went there to Morocco, played 6 months, and my dad, one of my dad's old friends, lives right next to Geneva, Switzerland. And he told me, we asked him if I could stay over. He said, yeah, no problem, you can come over. But just so you know, I don't know anybody here in the soccer world. I don't have any connections. I don't know any coaches. So if you do want to come, yeah, I've got a room for you, no problem. But don't expect me to get you any help in that way. I told them, no problem, I'll figure it out. So luckily, I had the financial support from both my parents, my mom and my dad. And so that helped me buy the plane ticket, buy food when I'm there, all that stuff, to live for 6 months. I was there for 6 months. And yeah, I got there, and the next day I took the bike and I started. First of all, I had already printed out my CV, my resume, 20 copies. I went there and I literally just went club to club. All I did was search in Google, soccer teams in Geneva. And it gave me a bunch of teams. I still remember Meran. There was Ferney. There were a lot of teams there. So I went to 12 different clubs. Every day I would probably go to like 2 to 3 clubs, 1 club sometimes because they were far, and I only had a bike. I didn't even have a car. Oh, there we go. Alex Marquez just joined. He was actually one of my teammates back in Switzerland, so that's pretty cool. And so, yeah, so I literally went club to club. I still remember Servette, for example. I went to try and get a tryout for Servette, but Servette is a professional team, so that didn't work out. It was very hard to get a tryout there. But yeah, I went to like 12 different clubs, door to door, asking for a tryout. And out of the 12, I think two clubs gave me a tryout, which was Meran, and the other one was FC Chenois. So those 2 clubs were nice enough to allow me to train with their team for about 2 weeks. And in the end, I had to make a decision. So I just went for the club that was closest by because, you know, I don't have the means to travel far. Oh, there he goes. He gives me that thumbs up. But yeah, that was honestly a journey. It was a risk because I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But in the end, it worked out. And honestly, it's just perseverance, man. Like I could have stopped after the fifth club, but you know, you just got to keep going till you get that one yes. And it ended up working out. And trained with Mel for 2 weeks. I didn't make the first team because the first team is a professional fourth division setup. So these guys are 25, 26 years old. They used to play professional back in the day, and now they're playing semi-pro at that time. So I ended up playing for the third team, and yeah, it was honestly an amazing experience. But honestly, it just goes to show that you just got to keep going until you get that one yes. Soccer is all about opinions, and so one thing anybody can learn from this that's listening is don't. Who cares about what one coach may tell you? All it takes is that one coach to see something in you and give you that opportunity, and that's exactly what happened with me.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. I can imagine just going to a country, living with someone, don't know anybody, don't know anything, just Googling clubs, riding your bike there. That's like that's an amazing story. I mean, and it didn't like it's not like you're playing at FC Basel or something now, but you got like an amazing experience out of it. You just and then you just learn yourself like. If I go to another country, know one person, Google clubs, ride my bike there, try out, and still make it, you know, like what's holding me back, you know?
There's literally, it's just, and every now and then I would get a message, hey, I don't know what to do, this and that. Just keep going. Like that's honestly such a blanket statement answer, but at the end of the day, you just have to keep going, honestly. You just got to keep looking for opportunities. Everything is on Google. You want to know how to edit a highlight video? YouTube. You want to know how to create a CV, a resume? YouTube. You want to know what clubs are nearby you? Google. Everything's there. So there's just no excuse. And yeah, everybody, you just gotta find the way. And if you really want to get there, you'll find a way. Now, I'm not talking as if I played professional when I was in Switzerland. No, I played semi-pro. It was in the third team of the club. So it's not like it wasn't such an amazingly high level professional setup. I had to do everything on my own. I had to take 2 buses to get to my club. I had to take the train. Then I would have to take the bus to get to my club every day, 6 o'clock practice. So, I mean, if you want to get there, you just got to do everything you can to get there. And there's just no excuse, honestly, nowadays.
Exactly. Like with my recruiting process, I think for a while I was just kind of like, well, I don't know what to do. And then literally just started like calling people at this recruiting like website. And they told me, be direct, just reach out to as many you can, do this, do that. And they didn't like they didn't like tell me every single thing, but it was like enough. I'm like, okay, yeah, there is no excuse. I just need to start Googling schools, figure out, you know, which ones put on my list, and then just email them and just go from there and take the initiative.
Exactly. So, 100%. I agree.
So when you were in Europe, you said you played Morocco for 6 months, and then you said it was a gap year. So did you spend the rest of the year in Switzerland, or how did that work?
So I did. So I graduated in May of 2018, and I went to Morocco in June. So I was in Morocco, or actually I went in July. So I went in July. I was there up until around December-ish, something like that. And I left, I still remember the date, January 12th is when I went to Switzerland. So this is all in the span of a year. So from May all the way until the next year of May. I was not doing school. I was just 100% focused in soccer, training every day, playing matches. So the 6 months in Morocco and then 6 months in Switzerland completed 1 year, and that was my gap year. And yeah, that's just how I did it. It's just focused on soccer completely.
So I'm assuming you didn't start emailing schools in May 2019, did you? Or were you doing that already?
No. So it was a last minute decision. And the biggest reason was because of the visa. So me as an American, even though I've got, you know, the blue passport, American passport, I'm only allowed 3 months in Switzerland, right? So the problem was I couldn't stay there for 3 months. I had to stay there longer because the season doesn't end until May. I started there in January. The season doesn't end until May. That's 6 months. How am I going to stay after 6 months? So I signed some paperwork, kind of find like a back way, a bypass for that, legally the right way. It's just the system that's there is if you file to sit for citizenship or you file for a work visa or anything like that, until they answer you, you're allowed to stay. So even if I pass the 3 months, I'm still allowed to stay as long as they haven't answered me. And they didn't answer me up until about like a month or 2 months ago. So they took a very long time, about a year is how long they took to get back to me. So technically, if I wanted to, I could have continued staying, but I didn't know that at the time. Yeah. So it was a last minute decision. I told myself, look, I don't think there's going to be a future for me here in Europe. I need a visa. I don't know people here. So let me just go back to the States and let me play college soccer. I made this decision back in January, February. About March is when I made the decision. So that's already really, really late. And I think I signed end of May, beginning of June, something like that is when I signed with Wheeling. So literally all I did was, all right, I want to play college soccer. What's the next step? Emailing. All right, very good. Well, not even that. Way before that, a CV, a resume. So I already had a resume. Now I needed a highlight video. We had 4 games left in the season, and I didn't record any of my games throughout the season, which was really disappointing. It was one of the biggest regrets that I had when I was there was not recording my games, because you just never know what can happen. And I had no idea I was going to end up playing college soccer, and if I knew that, I would have been recording my games, but I didn't. This is why I always tell everybody, all my friends, always record your games, always record your games. You never know what can happen. So there were 4 games left. All I did was ask one of my teammates if he knew anybody, maybe a friend or a cousin that could come to the games. I'll pay him, I think it was it 20 or 40? I think it was 40. I don't remember, 40 or 20 francs, which is like 22, 23, $24 per game if you can record the whole game. And that's what I did. So I literally just told him, hey, bro, look, here's my GoPro. It was just a GoPro that I had. Here's my GoPro. Just record my whole game. He did that for the 4 remaining games, and out of those 4 games, I put it all together, edited it up. It took a couple hours, a couple nights, but I had to do it. And in the end, yeah, I got my highlight video. It was probably like 4 to 5 minutes long. It wasn't really long because it wasn't much to show. So I had the highlight video. I had my resume. Now is the attack time. Now I got to attack. So I got the emails for every single Division I school in the country. I got all their emails. One by one, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. I got all their emails. And then what I did was I had a system of 2 kinds of emails. I have a broad email, which is just a copy, paste email, which pretty much says, hey, dear coach, literally says, dear coach, I would be interested in your soccer program, very general. And then I would have a different kind of email where it would say, dear coach Tom, I would be interested, or for example, in my position, dear coach Regan, I would be interested in being a part of Newlin University men's soccer. So you have to have 2 kinds of emails. One that's general, where it's a copy paste, where you're going to send most of your emails. And then you need to have personalized emails where you have the name of the coach, the name of the school. And that's what I did. I did that for all the Division I schools in the country. I did that for all the Division II schools that were a little bit more on the affordable side. And then I also did some NAIA schools. In the end, the Wheeling coach got back to me, and it's funny because he was on the list of the general emails. So I didn't even personalize an email to him. It was just one of those emails of dear coach. So he got back to me. He was like, yeah, we're looking for a defender. You would be an impact player. And that was a big thing for me, because to be an impact player means I'm going to get a lot of minutes. So I just needed something like that. And yeah, it ended up working out. So we started talking about scholarship money, how much they had. They had some scholarship money. And after all the financing, after all the talking and not really negotiating, because you can't really negotiate when you're playing, going to play college soccer, you get what you get. So I ended up getting some athletic scholarship and academic scholarship. And I did have to go some money out of pocket. But, that's just the reality of college soccer. Most players pay out of pocket, so a little bit. And there's just that little percentage that does get that full ride. Definitely possible, just very hard. And yeah, at the end, it worked out, and I ended up signing for Wheeling University. And it was honestly just by emailing 500, 600 coaches, and all it takes is that one coach to say yes. So I emailed, I think, 500 to 700 emails, more or less, in the span of like a month. So I had about a month of emailing. Out of that 500 to 700, probably 100 got back to me, meaning just emailing back, hey, we would be interested. Out of that 100, it came down to probably like 20. Out of the 100, 20 were more interested. They said they asked for my highlight video, they asked for my CV, they asked where I used to play. And then out of that 20 that asked for all those questions, I think it was about 7. I think I had 7 offers out of that 20. So from 700, it went down all the way to 7 offers. So that's why you need to continue emailing. All it takes is that one email. All it takes is that one email to say yes and an offer. So the more you email, the higher your chances are. And I'm talking to, obviously not you. You've been through the process, you know what it's like. But whoever's listening to this right now, the more emails you send, the higher your chances are. It's literally like statistics. That's you just gotta continue emailing. More you get more eyes on you, and all it takes is that one offer.
Yeah, exactly. I remember I had 83 schools on my list, and I thought that was like a ton, and that felt like so much time. And I had like a template, so I would change like a couple sentences here and there. But even with that, it was like just exhausting and like numbing my mind to just paste, okay, type this up, send it. And I think, like you said, maybe 15 to 20 of those replied. And literally some of them would, like one guy I remember literally just said yes, period.
Yeah.
Just like my question at the end.
It could be random.
Yeah, a few of those are just generalized, like they copy and pasted an email to like go to this camp. And then
yeah, those are the worst when you get that email. Hey, yeah, come to our camp. Oh, all right. Well, now we know that's not an option.
Yeah.
Especially for me, that's one more thing I'd like to say. Like, for those of you that are local, take advantage of the universities that are nearby you. Go to those camps and meet the coach in person and try and get a tryout with that team that's nearby you. When I was in Switzerland, I literally could not leave the country to go for an ID camp for 2 reasons: financially and legal. Like, I was not allowed to leave the country until I get an answer from immigration or something like that. I wasn't allowed to leave until I had finished some paperwork. So first of all, I can't go to an ID camp. The second thing, it doesn't make sense to spend all that money just to go for an ID camp from one country to the other. I had to get an offer on the spot. So that's another thing. So if you're local, go to that school nearby you, talk to the coach in person, hand in your CV in person, your resume, and try and make that connection in person. In person is way, way, way better than through email. But yeah, just take advantage of being local versus being abroad.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I remember, because I took like a 4-year break from playing club soccer, and I started again the summer for my junior year. So this was like October of my junior year. So I was still like just getting back into it. And like you said, there's a NAIA in my local like hometown, and they had like a free weekend. I don't think their camps now are free, but so I went, and even at the time I was like, I don't really want to stay in my hometown, but it was like a really good experience. And that was the first time I saw like I'm really not that far behind these guys. Like, I could play at this level. I can see myself here. So even though I don't think I really impressed anybody at the camp or anything, and maybe my senior year, if I emailed them again, maybe got some interest, but it was just that like mental thing, like, okay, this isn't so much of a far off dream. Like, you got a taste of what it's like, and you can do it. So, and it was free. A lot of camps aren't going to be free, but like you said, take advantage of whatever opportunities you get. And then with the emails too, like you said, you emailed 700, and like I said, you got 7 offers. And then with me, I thought 83 was a ton. And then, yeah, I had one where they specifically offered me something. And then I had maybe like 2 that were loosely like, okay, we want to offer you something. But it wasn't like specific, like, here's what it is. So it really is just like, just the more you reach out to, the more you put yourself out there, the better chance you're going to get. And
100%.
do it. it's definitely hard work. Might seem easy just emailing, but it takes a lot of time. So
Like what you said, your mind just goes numb for a bit. Like just copy paste the email, the email and the name of the coach. And I would also add, like, just to make it even more personalized, their record for the season. So I would say if they had a good season, congratulations on finishing off the season with a 15-4-1, for example. And then I would also add the mascot at the end of the message. At the end of the email, I would also add, so please let me know if you see me as a dragon, if their mascot's a dragon, or a lion, if I can be a part of the Lions men's soccer or something like that, just to add more personalization to the email.
Yeah, that's part of what took me so long too, is like I would Google, look up their record, try to find something specific about them, like, oh, I see that you won your conference, or I see that you have a really good exercise science program, or this coach, like you've coached the same team for so long. So it's like just something like personal about them. Now I'll get their interest a lot. So
Exactly, yeah.
I forgot what my next question was. But when you were playing in Europe, obviously I'm sure it was a huge jump from before when you were in high school. And then when you went to Morocco and then also Switzerland, was it like a huge jump as far as the skill level of players and things like that?
Honestly, like, this question gets asked a lot, like in general on YouTube. Whenever players get asked this question, it's the typical answer, and it's just speed of play. Speed of play is huge. Every time you continue working up your way through the ranks of soccer, you start off through club, or you start off through youth, then you go to club, then you go to high school, then you go to college, then you go to semi-pro, then you go to pro. Each level, the speed of play continues to increase. So I still remember back when I was playing, for example, Dr. Phillips High School, and then playing club. ACYS was my club. When I made that move to Morocco, the speed of play was even faster and a little bit more aggressive as well. Players were more aggressive. They would tug your shirt a lot more. They would fight. They would be a lot harder physically. So the speed of play was definitely a big difference. And then when I made the jump as well to fifth division in Switzerland, that was the speed of play again. It was even higher and was more demanding physically. And then making that jump again to Wheeling University, the speed of play again increased and the demand physically increased as well. So I'm just assuming that making this jump now to Southeastern would probably be the same, and continue to making that jump everywhere. Every time I try and go up the ladder, I feel like that the speed of play is just going to continue to increase, and you have to have the speed of play. And I feel like the best way to increase speed of play, the best way to improve your speed of play is literally through rondos. Because when you do rondos, you have to quickly make a decision. Are you going to pass to the guy to your left, to your right, across from you? So you need to be able to make those decisions very, very, very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a warm-up drill, and a lot of people just goof off, and it kind of pisses me off sometimes if they're just pulling around. I'm like, you can get a lot out of this drill, and just like you said, overall, even when you see people do shooting drills, like take a touch, take like 2 or 3 seconds, and then shoot. It's like in the game, you're never going to get that. Just like, even if you're just on your own, try to sharpen up and make it faster, make it more challenging.
Yeah, no, exactly. Rondos are so important, and a lot of people they can underestimate it. But honestly, like rondos it's game realistic, and you have to be fast. You have to be able to make those decisions as quick as possible. And I also do get annoyed sometimes when there are players that aren't taking it as serious as I would like it to be.
Yeah, for sure. So when you went to Wheeling, was it your plan? Like when you went there, were you thinking like I'm gonna be here for 4 years, or did you have like a plan already? Like I wanna do as best I can here, and then try to find something better, like another better college, or just go pro again, or what was your plan?
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I had the mentality of I'm gonna come here for a year and try and transfer somewhere else. I just saw Wheeling University as, all right, this is college soccer. This is where I want to be at. But, after playing there for one season, it's just, I was looking for something more, how do I say this? um, it was good competition. That's first of all I want to say. Like the team we had was a very good team. The brotherhood we had, the bond we had, I never had that any other place. And all the players know that I spoke to them about that when I was leaving. But I was just looking for a bigger challenge. I played there. I became a starter. And yeah, we may not have had as many defenders as most teams would, but it just worked out, and I ended up playing a lot of minutes. I started almost every game. So after that, I wanted to, number one, be in Florida. My goal is to play professional, and to play professional, you have to play semi-professional. And Florida, California, and New York, New Jersey area, those are the best, those are the hot spots to play semi-pro. And just in Florida, there's about 15 to 16 clubs that are semi-professional. So there's a lot of opportunity here, and that's why I wanted to make that move. After playing that season in Wheeling, I just didn't see a future there. I wanted to be somewhere where the training sessions are more serious, where there are a number of coaching staff. Unfortunately, at Wheeling, we only had one coach, and we did also have a graduate assistant who helped us a ton, Martine and Coach Martine and Coach Choco. But I just feel like it wasn't enough, and I feel like I just wanted something more. And I would say that a lot of the players on the team would agree with what I'm saying right now. And no disrespect to Wheeling University at all.
Yeah.
Just in case Coach Regan is listening, I have to thank him for giving me that opportunity and taking a risk on me. He didn't know who I was. He never met me. We only spoke on the phone and through video call when I was back in Switzerland. And he still gave me athletic scholarship. He still gave me academic scholarship. Well, academic is more from the school, but he still took a risk on me, and he didn't know who I was. So I do have to be appreciative about that. But in reality, I wanted something more, and Florida at Southeastern University, that's something what I'm looking for. And yeah, I do see myself at Southeastern for the next 3 years for sure.
Yeah, so like you said, the location, I think that's something interesting too, because it's kind of unfortunate, but at the same time, like you said, there's opportunities in it in America. Even with like the new MLS Academy League and stuff, you see there's like hot spots like California, Texas, Florida,
Exactly.
New York, New Jersey, but especially just the whole East Coast. Even with colleges, like so many colleges are just on the East Coast. Because here in Arizona, we have like 2 professional soccer teams, and then we have maybe like 2, 3, 4 more semi-pro teams. And then in Texas, in San Antonio alone, they have a few, like a D1 school, a D2 school. They have like 2 or 3 UPSL teams, a USL team. It's like just in one city in Texas. And same thing in Florida. There's teams all over. So that is interesting. You brought that up. And where was Wheeling University again?
And West Virginia. It was in West Virginia. So we had the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, which is about an hour away, and it's a USL championship team, so professional team. But honestly, besides that, there were no other nearby teams, not even semi-pro teams. So that would mean I would have to travel to go for a tryout, versus if I'm in Florida, I can drive anywhere. If I have to drive 4 hours, no problem. If I have to drive 6 hours, no problem. I'm in a radius of I'm within a 6 hour drive from any semi-pro team in Florida. And that's about 15, 16, 14, 17 teams, more or less. So it's just a lot of opportunity here in Florida, and I don't want to miss out on that. And that's the biggest reason why I came back to Florida, why I decided to move to Florida, transfer to Florida.
Yeah, for sure. And that was pretty much like the last thing I wanted to talk about was like the transfer process. Because it's a lot different than just getting recruited out of high school. And I have a few, like my teammates that are transferring this year as well. And it does, like you have to request from the school and get certain paperwork. And then I'm sure it's a whole different process of contacting but you also apply the same principles, I'm assuming, of just put yourself out there. So you already kind of explained the decision making, but as far as like the process itself, getting in contact, things like that, how did that work?
Honestly, it was the most, all right, I decided that I wanted to transfer and leave Wheeling when the season ended. That was sometime in November. So from November to this day, I'm still in the process of transferring. I did sign the national letter of intent with Southeastern, the coach. Like, I'm on the team and everything, but I still have paperwork to submit. I still have doctor appointments to do so that they can get more information on me. So the process is very rigorous. It can be very taxing mentally, but honestly, you just gotta have patience. So so the season ended, and I decided, okay, I want to come to Florida. So I had my eyes set to Florida, and I contacted all the Division I schools in Florida, all the Division II schools in Florida, as well as, and I didn't want to do NAIA. The reason being is because I had the mentality of, oh, NAIA, that's a different league. It's probably not as good as NCAA, and I didn't give that an option. I didn't give that a chance. This is why I always believe, always keep your eyes open, always have an open mind, because you just don't know what opportunities there are. So after doing a lot of research and after doing everything completely on my own for the first 2 to 3 months, I did November, December, and January, maybe even February, completely on my own, emailing, trying to find connections. And I did a video about how to play college soccer, and there's 3 main ways how to get recruited. Number 1 is individually. Number 2 is through a connection, and number 3 is with an agent. So me going into Wheeling, I did it individually, completely on my own, emailing. The second way is through a connection. When I was in Wheeling, a player called Tavon, shout out to Tavon, thank you so much for the help. But Tavon, he used to play for Wheeling University. He then transferred to University of West Florida. I contacted him through Instagram. Hey, what's up? I'm also a player at Wheeling. I'm thinking about transferring to Florida. Do you think you could talk to your coach and possibly get me a tryout? Perfect. He said, no problem. He spoke with the coach. 2 weeks later, the coach finally, he decided, he's like, all right, Adam, we'll pay for your ticket. No, not pay for my ticket. We'll pay for your hotel. So they paid for my hotel. I had to pay for my own ticket though. And I went and I trained with the team for, I think it was 2 days, or was it a 1-day session? I think it was 2 days. I think it was in the morning and the next day. I think it was 2 days. So I went there to West Florida. I trained with the team. And in the end, coronavirus kind of like gave me bad luck just because, you know, a lot of budget cutting occurred. But at the end of the day, I don't want to have that as an excuse. If I was a better player, maybe if I had performed better, they would have done anything in their power to really recruit me. At the end of the day, I don't want to put anything else to blame. It's myself. I'm 100% to blame. So maybe if I was a better player, if I did better at the tryout, it would have worked out. It would have worked out. But at the end, it didn't. But that just goes to show you can get opportunities through a connection. So number 2 is connection, right? That opportunity didn't work out. So I moved on and continued looking. And I find out that one of my teammates at Wheeling, he's from Spain. Shout out to Gaisca from Spain. He's actually transferring from Wheeling to University of Tampa to go for his master's degree. So he has been working with an agent over in Spain. And this agency is called WLE. And the guy who kind of runs it is Aitor. He's the one who helped me out. And he has a lot of connections. He knows many people. He's got many coaches, and he has a reputation. Reputation is key when you have an agent, when you're working with an agency. When you have an agency that's reputable, that means that they have sent other players under their name, and coaches have trust in them, so they know that these players that they're sending over are quality players. So after much talk with Aitor, in the end, we started talking about opportunities, possibilities. I sent him my CV. I sent him my highlight video. The 2 most important key factors of any soccer player: your identity is your highlight video, and your CV, your resume. I sent her that information. Then he started contacting teams. And think about this. This really blew my mind and gave me a completely different perspective of what agencies can do for you. before working with the agent, I was completely on my own. I emailed, for example, the university, Barry University. I emailed the Nova Southeastern University. I emailed Lynn University. These are top D2 schools in Florida, and as well in the country. I didn't get a response. The moment I start working with the agent, they start contacting them and they start offering me opportunities to train with the team. And even I still remember Barry and Lynn both gave me an offer to play, but without athletic scholarship. Now, they didn't get back to me when I emailed them individually. The moment I start working with an agency, that agency has reputation, which then leads to an offer. So that's why, honestly, with my experience with an agency, I think in the future, if I do want to go professional, well, I know I do want to go professional. So when I do decide to go professionally, which is not at the moment, but once I do, I know that I'm going to want to work with an agent because I just know that agencies have a reputation that puts you in an advantage versus other players. Anyways, I kind of got sidetracked right here, but the point is I ended up working with my agent, and he ended up talking with the coach from Southeastern University. They contacted me, they were interested, and they just offered me on the spot. Unfortunately, there was no more athletic scholarship at the time. They had already used it for all their players. So at least for this year, I won't be getting any athletic scholarship. So it just means, pay a little bit more money. And I just got to be patient with it. I just got to work, and I just got to be patient, work with what I've got. But I know that this is a very, very top program, the soccer program. I mean, they were top 8 in the NAIA country, in the whole NAIA league last year. So I know this is a top team. And not only that, but this also means that it's going to be hard for me to get minutes. It's not going to be like back at Wheeling. In Wheeling, I played 1,300 minutes. I was a starting right back. This year, it's going to be a lot harder for me to play that, to be that starting player. But it's definitely possible. I need to go in with the mentality that I am going to be the starting right back. And that's the mentality I go in with any team. So my mentality is I've got to go in and I got to work even harder than I was working for Wheeling. I got to go as hard as I can because I know, like I said, it's a top team and there's a lot of competition for that right back position. So I've got to do everything I can. And one more thing, you have to be versatile. So I can't just stick with right back. I have to be able to play left back, maybe left wing or right wing. Those are the positions that I used to play back in club and high school. So me being able to be a versatile player will allow me to contribute to the team more and allow me to get more minutes. I still remember when I was in Wheeling, I played right back, center back, and left mid, right mid. So a lot of different positions, which puts me at an advantage versus other players. So to take from this, pretty much, number one, be patient with the transfer. Whenever you're transferring from school to school, make sure you're on top of your paperwork and make sure you're submitting everything. Number two, if you can work with an agency, that's good. It costs a little bit of money, but at the end of the day, it's actually cheaper to work with an agency because that agency can get you better scholarship, which in the end saves you more money. The next thing is if you don't think you can work with an agent for whatever reason, then you should try and find a connection. Every single soccer player has a connection. I don't care who you are, you have a connection. Either it's your friend who has that connection, your old coach may have that connection, or your teacher's cousin may have that connection. You need to find it. You need to ask and you need to find it. And the final point to take into this is keep your mind open and keep your mind open to any opportunity. There is no NAIA is better than NCAA or the other way around. It all depends on the soccer program. You can be at a Division I school where the coaches aren't as serious as a school over at NAIA, for example. It could be either or. I've never experienced playing Division I. I didn't play Division I. I played Division II, but I was able to see that difference. Where hearing from other players as well, their experience. So at the end of the day, the most important is make sure you're going to a program where the coaching staff is serious, where the players are serious as well, and where they have a reputation of having successful seasons, season after season.
Yeah, all of what you said is so true. And well, I wanted to ask about the agency anyway, so I wasn't really complaining when you brought that up. And that's a good point because I'm starting to see more often too I talked to another guy live on here a couple weeks ago, and he's from Scotland, so he's saying, yeah, how to use an agent. Or wait, no, he was talking about agencies, but he didn't actually use. He had like the partnership with them, but he still wanted to do it on his own. But he said it still is just helpful, and your own name a lot of times isn't going to be enough to get in the door at certain places. So that can really help you with opportunities, and like you said, connections. Like, I'm at a D3 school, and you'd think, okay, maybe my coaches don't know that much, or they don't know that many people, or whatever. And then my athletic trainer, he was the trainer at San Antonio FC just like a year or two ago, like the head trainer there at a USL Championship club. And then my head coach played with the starting goalie right now at Phoenix Rising, which is one of the best USL clubs in the country. And they're like 45 minutes from my house. So it's like, you never know who knows who. And just keep your eyes open. I've thought about transferring.
For sure.
In some ways I was like, maybe if the opportunity comes, and it's like, you can't think like that. You got to go find it. So it's like, the transferring thing, you want to be clear about when you're going to go, and deciding like if you really want to do it. And once you do, you just got to commit, make it work. If you can't do it on your own, find an agency. And then, well, it's expensive. All right, work, get a job, make some money, figure it out like you have. That's really inspiring. I think really good for people to hear. Emailing 700 different schools, transferring, how rigorous that is, but you just had a clear like picture in your mind, what I want to do, where I want to be, what's the next step. Okay, I have to do this. All right, what's the next step to that? So it's so much just about your mindset.
100%. 100%. I mean, honestly, it's just, you got to find a way. No matter what, you just got to find a way. And especially now in today's world where everything is online, absolutely everything is online, there's just no excuse. There really isn't.
Yeah, I think it's such a blessing and like amazing for our generation. But for some people, it's just like, it's still like, I don't know how to do it. YouTube, like, I could watch one of my own videos and learn things like, okay, this is how I do it, this is how I do this, and then like whatever. You can just search up on YouTube. That's how I learned how to make my channel, how to make videos, how to do almost anything. Soccer drills, I always just go to YouTube instead of just, oh wait, how do I do it? I need to talk to my coach. I need to find someone. Just start looking. You'll figure it out. Just get over that first hurdle.
Completely agree.
So is there anything else you wanted to add or talk about before we go?
Sure. I mean, I'll say this one last thing. No matter what you're trying to do, and look, I'm not trying to sound motivational here or cheesy or any of that stuff. Yeah. At the end of the day, you just got to find a way. Like I said that multiple times today, you just have to find a way. Like I said, everything's online. You want to play pro, okay, so you got to put in the work. You got to put in work on the field, off the field. You have to find ways. You have to make connections. You have to go out of your comfort zone. You have to talk to your friends to try and make that connection. You have to do whatever you got to do to get where you want to get at the end of the day. So there's just no excuse. And honestly, to whoever's listening, Jesus Bernia, I see you just got in. No matter what your goal is, you just got to find a way to make it happen. Just not have an excuse. And yeah, I truly believe in that. My biggest goal is, to play professional soccer. Before that, I had a goal to play college soccer. I found a way and I did it. Now my next goal is to play semi-professional. And I have to find a way. I know the way, and the way is contacting coaches, showing up to practices just by chance, taking risks, and sign that semi-pro contract. After that, after I graduate, my plan is to go and play professional. So I just gotta find a way. I have to make those connections throughout college. The players that I meet, keep their phone numbers, stay in contact with people, continue emailing coaches, and just always being proactive and finding ways to get it. So at the end of the day, there's just no excuse, and you gotta find it.
Exactly. Yeah. I can't say anything other than that. It's just spot on. But it was really cool to hear your story, hear you explain things, talk about transferring schools, playing in Europe, what you've learned, and just how, like you said, find a way applies to everything. And it's not always all, it's not always fun to email 700 coaches in a month, but you got to do it. All right, let's do it then. So it's really cool to hear your story. I'll be posting this on the IGTV in just a few minutes, and I'll post it on YouTube in a few weeks from now. So I'll tag him on there as well. Be sure to check out his channel. He posts talks similar to this, like podcasts, people talking about their stories in soccer. He's got a YouTube channel, training vids, things like that as well. And he posts on his Instagram as well. So I'll tag you in there. So be sure to check him out. But it's great to talk to you, man. Hopefully you can keep in touch.
Awesome. Yeah, no, for sure. We'll stay in touch. Yeah, for sure. I just want to thank you for inviting me over to the live. It was great talking to you. I'm going to see how maybe I'm going to start doing these lives as well on my Instagram, and so we can get to hear your story as well and hear both sides, both perspectives. But yeah, thank you for having me, for sure.
All right, that sounds good, man. Yeah, just keep up the good work. Good luck next season. Thanks for taking your time. Appreciate it. It was a really good talk. Thank you for everyone who watched and is watching in the future on YouTube and IGTV. But I think that's about it. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for your time again, Adam. Have a good one. Keep doing what you're doing. So
awesome. Thank you so much. You guys take care. I'll talk to you next time. Take care. Bye.
Y'all have a good day.